Welcome to my craft room tour video. I originally made this video to be able to show a card making friend my craft room. She's not able to travel, so I wanted to just show her how I store things, just some of the things I've collected along the way. And so here we go. I'll give you a tour. All right, in the little hallway outside my craft room, I hung up this, well, Justin hung up this old shelf that was my great-grandma's, and on it I just have some, I don't know, some things that I thought were fun, some cards I've made at different card classes I've taken, and that little Very Hungry Caterpillar book was mine when I was little. And oh, this little door goes to a storage area under our stairs, and it's kind of creepy. There's sometimes spiders and stuff in there, so I don't go in there. But here's my little, this little shelf has just some pretty stuff on it, and that is a fake succulent because unfortunately I like to say I overlove my succulents. I overwater them all the time and they always die. So that one's fake and it stays pretty. But then you're at my craft room, and first thing when you walk inside the doorway here, there's this big shelf unit. And this came from a dear friend of mine, Debbie, who I worked with at Buffalo Stamps. And unfortunately, she passed away. But before, when she first found out she was ill, she knew that she would have to be moving into a different apartment. And she knew she couldn't take this big shelf unit with her. So she gave that to me. And so it's very special. Along with a lot of these wood mounted stamps were hers. And so they're just really special, and I have them out just so I see them. I think of her, and wood-mounted stamps are also just so pretty to look at. But up here on the top shelf, I have all of my clear stamps, and I store them in like the Avery L storage pockets because they're just really easy to pick them up and grab them out of here, and I can see everything. You know, I can see all the stamps that I'm looking for. And yeah, and it just keeps them organized better for me. I actually organize my stamps according to what they are. I know a lot of people prefer to store them by their manufacturer, what brand they are. But if I'm making a card and I want to put flowers on it, I won't remember what flowers I have from what company. And it just saves me time to just be able to go to the flowers and then dig through them and figure out which ones I want to use. So I have all my stamps in these containers that I got at Hobby Lobby. A lot of the things you'll see in here are from Hobby Lobby, and I love it there. And then down underneath, a lot of times when I first get a stamp set, I'll ink it up right away and stamp it, and either leave it on sheets that I can kind of cut apart, or I will die cut them using my dies or my scan and cut. And I can just kind of dig through here and find little pieces if I feel like coloring, yeah, I've got, you know, different ones stamped and ready to go over here. So whenever I feel like coloring, or for days or, you know, times like Kathy Rakusen's 30-day coloring challenge, I've got everything I need already stamped and ready to color. So so I can just come down here and grab those. I store my dies the same way in these storage pockets. And I put little magnet sheets in here that hold everything together. And yeah, it's just a lot easier for me. I travel a lot with stuff, whether it's for teaching classes or, you know, I just take them on the go. And if they're in a storage pocket like this, they're not going to go flying around, and I can keep them organized easier for me. I've got my typewriter right there, ready for scrapbooking. And here I've got some little special things. Judah made me that snowman, and my very sweet friend Robin made me that on Easter Sunday. It's an Easter Sunday. Get it? Isn't that clever? I just thought that was so clever, Easter Sunday. But then down underneath I've got my scrapbooking supplies. Now down here too are more scrapbooking supplies. One of my goals this year is to scrapbook more. Scrapbooking was my first love, even before card making. So I really want to scrapbook more and just record all of our family's memories. So I've got a lot of kits down here. The other day I took some time to put kits together. And so I actually went through my giant stack of 12 by 12 papers, and I put together kits with papers that coordinate, so when it comes time to scrapbook, I can just grab a sheet protector here, and everything inside is going to coordinate and match, and I don't have to spend time digging through a giant pile. And then over here I have a photo box, some die cuts, and some more kits and things. Down here I've got a couple of those bins. A lot of times when I'm working on a project that maybe is like a long-term thing, I will just stick it in one of those bins, and then it's protected, but it's away, so it's not making a huge giant mess on my desk. And then my Stampin' Up! Ink pads, I wasn't using those as much, so I put them in this basket, and then I can just pull them out whenever I want to use them. This shelf down here is Judah's, so I'm gonna let Judah explain what is in his little section of the craft. Okay, go ahead.
So what I have right here, a tiny car. See, that's not a car. And wipes, these baby wipes.
Is that in case we make a mess?
2 baby wipes. I thought there was one of these. And then this a 2 box. Who put this? I didn't know this got in here. Tiny scissors.
What are you sitting on, Judah?
That's this my card for. That's it. What's in this box is.
What are those for? What do you use those for?
I usually cut these up because these are Christmas cards, all of these. Stickers. Those are stickers. Mm-hmm. And then more Christmas cards.
Yeah.
1 marker and then more Christmas cards. I sure do have one Christmas cards. So, that's the first part of my shelf. I still have a lot more on my shelf. This is my scene. Don't forget about this. This is scene. I have a lot of stuff under here. That's mine. What? This is this empty box. This. See all these. I like this one a lot because see.
Oh yes, so those are some stamped images that you can color, huh?
Hey, I've already colored this one. See what I've colored?
Nice.
So that, and then this box, what I have in.
Oh, hold your papers, right?
Those are some of my papers, yeah. This is this empty bagger. And then these are tapes, and then.
Oh, I love that.
Puppet, a calendar that. See this calendar?
Oh yeah, an old calendar to cut up.
And then more papers.
Nice. Now what's in that brown basket over there?
What brown basket? See these glue and thing from church. So that I still have a couple more things to show you. Now in here. All these stamps are from the lady that gave us this, right?
Oh yeah, Miss Debbie, yeah. So you've got a basket full of stamps too, huh?
And my ink pads, which of course I like this one pink. Now these are just full of, I need to organize that. And I'm going to show you some of this because I can't show you all of this.
Yeah, there's a lot in there. So that's just a lot of papers and old magazines to cut up and make crafts with.
Can I show them some of it? So this is this one Jace.
Oh, to paint. Yeah, you can paint that, right?
Where should I put a pile of stuff that I've already done?
Oh, you can lay it on the floor. That's okay.
So then we have some bows, seed bows. What does that say?
30 pieces, I think it says.
Whoa. Then we have a card that I've already made.
Yeah, why don't you show them your card you made, bud?
That's the front. That's supposed to be sticking. And then inside we have
That is an awesome card, buddy.
And then...
Who do you think you'll send it to? Not sure?
I have no idea. And some stickers.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't used this. A bag of... What's this?
Say those are some die cuts and things that Mommy gave you. Oh, there's your other ink pads. Those should be in with the stamps. So, we obviously have to organize that basket. Why don't you tell them a little bit about your painting?
What?
Why don't you tell them a little bit about your painting?
No.
No? You don't want to? Just leave it up to them to interpret it. But this is Judah's little corner here. How about you show them one more thing out of your special basket there?
Why?
Because we can't go through the whole thing. This will be a 4-hour-long video.
Ink pads and markers and...
All kinds of things. Awesome, buddy. Alright, so moving on. This is the wall with the window. And as you can see, we've gotten a little bit of snow. Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of days. But today is beautiful, very sunny. But on that fabric-y banner thing, I have some cards that are very special to me. People have sent me, other card-making friends. And then I just have some just pretty things. That swan is actually from my mama's house. I remember that at her house as I was growing up. Those trolls I used to play with when I was little. And over here, what you'll notice about my craft room is if it's out of sight, it's out of mind for me. So I have to have a lot of things out so that I remember to use them. And I also like the storage to be pretty. So I try and find old things, you know, either at flea markets or antique stores or things that my grandparents have passed on to me. So I like to have them in pretty things. Or I go to Hobby Lobby and get things that look like they are super old, even though they're not. But here's how I store my sequins and things. I put them in these glass tubes. And they're very pretty to look at. And I can just come over and grab whatever color I want. And they're in these little glass tubes. I have to be careful that I don't break them. This, I actually put trash in and I can just dump out the trash. But I thought that was pretty. And this has become kind of like my watercoloring desk. So I've got my Tombow markers displayed here. This holds one of those chamois things that is good for cleaning off your stamps. And then when Justin and I were in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, a couple months before the baby was born, we found that crate thing that I thought was really pretty. And I decided to put my watercoloring stuff in there. So I've got a a container of brushes, and then these hold water, and I've got 3 of them, so I don't have to worry about having to run and change out my water very often. So this has become like my little watercoloring desk, which, yeah, I really like having this space. Underneath, I've got some more sequins in this little mini muffin tin here. Just kind of stuck those in there. This cupboard has some scissors, some miscellaneous tools, adhesive, and then that has cross-stitching supplies and felt. This big giant cheese box was actually a present from my sister for Christmas, and I stored all of my art journaling supplies in there. So I've got a lot of like random supplies in there, but it's fun to have them in a big giant cheese box. Thankfully, it doesn't smell like cheese, or that would have grossed me out. But then that's my old scrapbooking tote, one of those rolling totes, and that holds a sewing machine. I actually have 2 sewing machines that my sweet Grammy got for me. So there's a sewing machine in there hanging out for when I need to use it. I actually took it on the road with me when I did a Bible journaling class, and we sewed on the page, so it's all ready in that tote, ready to travel. This is actually Bible journaling stuff, so I am going to be working on the page for February, so that stuff isn't going to always live there, but I just stuck it there for now. This is my, I have 2 Raskog cards. I really love them from IKEA, and this one is my Bible journaling supply one, so I can just pull this out and grab whatever I need, but it has a lot of miscellaneous art journaling type supplies, patterns, and tissue paper, and old books, and stencils. things like that that I can use for Bible journaling. And in this section of the desk, I don't have a ton of Altenew inks, but I do have some of their mini ink cubes, and so I store them in these containers in their blending families, and I can just pull them out of there and grab them when I want to use them. And baby wipes, of course, for when we make messes. Miscellaneous stuff kind of up here. And yeah, I have a bookbinding tool that I like to make journals with my sister. She's actually borrowing it right now because she's home from Africa, so she's busy making journals and things. This side of the desk is cool because it has all these openings for papers. So I store my papers here for Copic coloring and watercoloring and things like that. These are 2 bags that are ready to go for scrapbooking. Whenever I want to go scrapbook like with a friend or whatever, I can just grab those. Enamel dots and thickers and stuff in there. Now this corner has my embossing station over there. So I've got my heat tool right there next to the outlet, so that's handy. I can just plug it right in, and then my embossing powders and things up there in that shelf from Hobby Lobby. And then this shelf has some miscellaneous things in it as well, like those Altoid tins for crafting, fuse tool, wobblers, and those are little tiny cotton balls for bunny tails. And some little sewing tools and things like that. This is my secret candy stash, and there's not much in there because I've eaten it all. This is where I store my 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I put them in, Jennifer McGuire recommended those, I forget what they're called. I don't remember. But whatever they are, they work awesome. So these, I don't know, these plasticky container thingies. And then I just label them with what color they are. When I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator a couple years ago, I bought a ton of paper because their paper is really high quality and I love the colors. So I just bought a ton of their paper and I'm still working my way through it. So that's what's in there. Then this is my little mailing station. So I've got my address stamp, and my sister got me these really cool, these tools for making wax seals on, you know, your envelope. So those are really, really fun. And then I've got stamps and envelopes, just anything I need for mailing out my cards. Then this, I can just pull this out. This has my 6x6 paper pads in it, so I can just pull those out. And then I store ones that have a lot of scraps. I store them in a Ziploc bag so that the scraps don't go flying all over the place and they stay together. And I just take a step back. Oh, there's the space heater because it is freezing down here. There's my other little sewing machine just hanging out down there so I can pull it out whenever I need it. Some other storage stuff in the back there. My little Scrap Mabob garbage can. I love that little thing. It's awesome. And then this old record case has some more things of paper like vellum and those big journaling tags and stuff like that. Now this desk was a gift from Justin, and it's actually an architect's desk, and so that part on the top actually will flip up. But I obviously have so much stuff on it that it doesn't flip up, but it's a really big surface area and I just love being able to work on that. So over here I've got some projects I'm working on and my big guillotine trimmer that stays up here and Judah knows never to touch it. But I do have my acrylic blocks up here and my Misties, adhesive runners, ink pads that I use a lot. My little vintage toolbox there holds some more adhesives, and my giant foam adhesive roll and another stamp chamois thing in a jar. This I actually put trash into. I like things to be cutesy, so even my little trash can is cute. I can just dump it into something bigger when I have enough. Then my most used tools and adhesives and things are in these little containers, so I can just reach and grab those. All right, then this bin has fun new stuff in it. So these are things I maybe got for Christmas or with a gift certificate, but I haven't inked them up yet. So these are in here to remind me, hey, get me out and use me on a card. So I don't want to forget and store them away and forget that I got them. But then these are some awesome homemade glue dots from Robin, who made the Easter Sunday. She's so clever and crafty, and she made these glue dots and put them in this little notebook. And so, yeah, they're handmade glue dots. I didn't even know you could make your own, but you can. So that's really cool. So those just hang out right there. Then this container is full of already like pre-colored images. So for the 30-day coloring challenge, or maybe I'm just watching a movie with Justin and coloring, I will put those in here, and then they're all set and ready to go on a card. So I can just kind of dig through there and make a quick card whenever I get a chance. I've got my Tim Holtz stamp platform here. It kind of lives right there. And yeah, so that's this desk. And I try and give myself a big work area. There's some other fun stuff just along the wall. Just fun, pretty stuff. There's some mixed media supplies up in that. Alright, then this storage container is actually an old VHS tape holder. And I think I found it at Goodwill or a thrift store somewhere. And I painted it and distressed it. And it holds like my Lawn Fawn inks and Memento inks, things like that, just perfectly. And oh, my sweet Grammy, she embroidered that for me. So that's really special. But that's where I have my other inks. Then this is where the computer lives, on top of this awesome filing cabinet that my dad found for me. It actually holds bigger than 8.5 by 11. So I've got my extra like cardstock stored down here. This thing holds ink refills and hot glue guns and all those miscellaneous tools and stuff like that. And I was able to label all the drawers. So that was really handy. I really love that filing cabinet. And up here, a couple more shelf units. You can see I got my ink sprays up there, and it holds ribbon and some adhesive, just different things in those drawers. I like that picture of Judah from when he was at Vacation Bible School. That was great. We went through a phase where that was his smile. But then I've got my other Rascog cart, and I saw this idea online. I can't remember who I saw it from first. Maybe Stephanie Klauk, but I can't remember who I saw do it first. But they flipped the top row of their Rascog cart, they flipped upside down, the top container, and it holds stuff on top. So I put my Big Shot on there, and I love it. Love, love, love it. I can wheel it around. It doesn't shake my desk when I use it and make everything go flying all over. I love it on there. And underneath I have some like purple tape and paper towels. These are all my, these are embossing folders under here, and I keep those in like a plastic bag, so if I have to travel with them, they don't get lost. And the bottom shelf is waiting to be filled. Alright, I realized that I think I forgot to say what was inside this Alex cart from IKEA. I have my scan and cut supplies in here, some other cardstock, some specialty cardstock, things like that. I have, let's see, glitter cardstock. I've got my solid color 12 by 12. My punches are in the bottom of it. It's a really nice unit. I like that unit from IKEA. Alright, and then we've come around to the hutch. And this hutch actually belonged to my mama, so it's very special to me. And in our apartment, we actually had a small little dining room, and that is where this lived, and it held things that hutches normally hold, like plates and stuff like that. But when we moved into this house, we don't have a formal dining room, so we didn't have any room upstairs for it. So I thought, oh, it's going to be perfect in the craft room. So up on top, I just have some fun and pretty things and some special cards that people have made for me. And yeah, a lot of the stuff on here is kind of display for right now. I do have my twine, my little sloth from my friend Sarah. Those are my Zig real brush markers. Keep those up there. I have my washi tape displayed because it's so pretty and colorful. Here's where I keep my stencils. I have them in this little bag because I take them a lot for Bible journaling class, so I just grab one of these bags and go. These are from Kathy Rakusin when I was a Goodwill ambassador. That was awesome. She's great. Then here's my shimmer, Cosmic Shimmer texture paste. If you haven't tried this stuff, it's amazing. I wish I had it in every color. It's super fun. Awesome on stencils. Then this filing cabinet my mom found. They're good at finding little treasures like this. So I keep adhesive and things in here. It actually comes out really, really far, but I only have one hand to use, so I don't want to make it fall on the floor. But yeah, it holds a lot. And these are actually colored pencils. My sister gave those to me. I thought those were fun. So they live in there. And this is my card. These are all my card bases out of Nina cardstock, and then I can just score them. I grab a scoreboard and score them so they're easy to reach over and grab when I'm working on cards. Here's where I store my distress inks. I've got my regular distress inks in this tin, and I only have a couple of the bigger size. I mainly have the mini ink cubes, and they live in there. My distress oxides are in here. And it's not ideal storage-wise, just because I kind of have to dig through them to find the color I want. And then I'm always afraid that the lids will fall off and they'll dry up. But so far, it's working okay. And like I said, I take them a lot. I travel with them a lot. And so it's easy to just grab the whole box and go, rather than have them all in a drawer and like have to pick and choose and find something else to put them in. Then this little book I made of ink swatches. So all of my ink pads, my distress inks, these are Jennifer McGuire swatches that I just printed off and then made a little book of all of them. So then here's all my other regular ink pads. I put them all together. So Lawn Fawn, Stampin' Up, Ranger, whatever I have, I put them all together and then tried to keep the browns and things together. So when I'm looking for, you know, a pink ink pad, I can just look at all of them and see what color would match my project the best. Then I started to, and I need to finish, let me just turn over here. I started to die cut all the words that I had because I was afraid I was gonna, you know, you only need so many happy birthdays, you only need so many, you know, hellos. So I started to die cut them and put them on these acetate sheets. Yeah. So I have to make sure I gotta get that up to date, but that's my swatch book, and that just goes right here, so then I can grab it if I need to figure out what color would match my project. This drawer has some cards that I've already made, and my, you know, church directory and address books and stuff in here. My stamp storage supplies go in here, so my stamp pockets ready to go, magnet sheets, those are vent covers, work awesome. My little scale for measuring my Copic markers when I refill them, and my labeler. Alright, there's some more stuff down in these drawers. I've got my mini albums, some other special things in here. My Instax camera, photo stuff. There's stuff for my planner. There's also stuff for the planner supplies down in here, like sheets that I've copied off and stuff. This is actually full of all kinds of die cuts, mainly from Bible journaling class. Things if I've made extra kits. These are all extra pieces. So someday I'll go through these. Maybe I can make some cards out of them or use them for another class. But in here, some more art journaling supplies. Got my press and seal chipboard and more sprays and spray adhesive. This has some doilies and lace stuff in it. Yeah, that's in there. So that's the hutch. Then I've got a basket full of little twines and ribbons and pretty things. The dog always loves to run down here and grab stuff out of that and bring it back upstairs to me like it's a gift. He's so funny. Drives me crazy. Then you probably noticed you didn't see any Copic markers or anything. It's because I keep them in here. I saw somebody had this online, and I love this bag. It came from Amazon, and it wasn't very expensive at all, but it's perfect for holding my markers. So these are all my Copics. I don't have like a bazillion, but this bag has these removable, see those inserts? Those are actually removable, and you can make each space as big or little as you want. And all the markers go in here, and I can fit my little mini clipboard up here with some stamped images and things. Other pens and sparkle markers and stuff like that are in there. And then it zips up and it's ready to go. And like I said, I travel with markers or pencils or whatever all the time, and so this bag is awesome. And oh, the dog started to chew on the handle. I was really sad about that, but I caught him in time. But yeah, so this bag, and then I can fit, you know, put a bunch of die cut things in here so that it's ready to color. But yeah, that bag is awesome for travel. If you travel with your markers, I highly recommend it. Then my colored pencils live in this this container, also from Amazon. Amazon is going to take over the world. But yeah, so I've got my colored pencils, and they're all in here. Holds a lot, and I feel like it keeps them safer than just having them floating around in a bag or something. Then this bag is ready to go to the Super Bowl party. The Buffalo Stamps is having a Super Bowl party, and we're going to make some cards and play some games, and of course eat pizza and wings because we're Buffalo. But got my little pencil sharpener. This is my little tote that has a bunch of supplies that are in the basic kit. So adhesives and little tiny ink pads and stuff like that. So everything's ready to go for me for tomorrow. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the little tour. That's my craft room, and I love my little happy corner of the house. And yeah, whenever I get a chance, I sneak down here. The boys like to come with me. Josiah is kind of too little to be crafting yet, but he likes to sit with mommy, or I'll put him in his little play yard and he just hangs out with me down here. And Judah, of course, loves to make art and be creative, so it's really fun to hang out with them down here. But I hope you enjoyed my tour. Thanks for hanging in there. I know this is kind of long, but I just thought it would be fun. I love all things vintage and old, and so I just like my storage to be pretty. So I hope you enjoyed looking at it. And yeah, have a great day. Thanks for watching.